Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode of Banter Blitz, the exciting show where we play chess games and talk about them, or talk about other stuff. That's it. I'm back from holidays. I spent a week in Portugal. It was nice. The Algarve, highly recommended if you are still looking for good weather in October. Nice place. I enjoyed it. Now I'm back to lovely Hamburg, Germany, where it's not raining, sun is shining, so the weather shock coming back was not as severe as expected. See, I'm warming up. I came up with the word severe 1 minute into the show, so can only go downhill from here. If you're new to this exciting format, you challenge me to a game of chess on chess24.com. My username is Jan. If you're watching the show live on chess24.com, you can see my name below the little video window. You hover over it, you click on challenge. You have to be a premium member on chess24.com in order to get accepted. That's pretty much it. So let's play somebody. I tend to spend a lot of time staring at the list of Le Challengers, looking for people I've never played before, then thinking, but that's unfair to the regulars, and then just randomly clicking on somebody. That's how it normally works. Let's start with a culture shock and play against a FIDE master. First game back. I've literally not looked at any chess for a week. I didn't have internet in our house in the Algarve. Well, I was roaming on my phone, but I did not have wireless, so I'm not up to date at all on any chess happenings. Let's hope they have not refuted one knight f3 to c4. In the meantime, here against Formless from Australia, who I believe I've played a bit, maybe some bullet games, or I'm not sure what it was. Anyway, c4, e6, knight c3. I play more often than g3 in this situation, even though just like any self-respecting chess player, I have to alternate. And he goes for my own recommendation, the so-called Vienna variation. I've always said, I've mentioned that much in my video series, that I consider this pawn sacrifice, bishop takes c4, followed by short castles, the most critical way to treat this. And let's see if he follows my advice, which is normally a recipe for disaster. Or if he does something else. All of this has been featured in my series. I wish I could remember anything. Have they experimented with Queen f3 recently? I seem to recall something. Queen g4 is the main move, which I've covered extensively. Queen g4, knight c6. I have a feeling someone might have been doing Queen f3 recently. Don't quote me on it. But mainly I want to get Formless out of form by going here. c5. It's typically a risky move in these positions because black is not that well developed. I will continue getting my pieces up. Bishop f4, cd4, put a rook on d1, and see where that takes us. d5 was also a strong candidate. That might have been a little premature, not sure. Generally, white does not really try to go for structural compensation that much, but more for speedy development here in order to compensate for the fact that we're missing one pawn. And I'll continue in that vein. Go rook a1. And as usual, hope that good things will happen to me. Did I switch on the sound? Should have checked. Bishop f4, knight to d7. Some options here. dc5 certainly comes to mind. But then bishop f4, queen f6, and he forces me to exchange queens, which would be a little sad. Knight f7 is also strangely attractive. I think I'll do that for no particular reason, except for making it murkier. I'm a nihilist like Richard T. Joker. I like to just see things burn. Not on the chessboard though, if we're being completely honest. I'm a huge nit on the chessboard. So knight takes f7, a bit out of character for me, but it looked interesting. Rook f7 seems forced. And then bishop takes e6 when we have a bunch of options, but all should lead to interesting play at least. Now I'm obviously threatening bishop f7, followed by queen takes. And bishop takes g5 check, so he correctly takes here. I shall recapture. I don't think there's any plus in starting with bishop f7, or is there? He wants queen f6. Not sure. Maybe I should have waited a bit, but no, he goes knight f6. Now I should certainly take king takes, and this is another tricky moment. dc5 or d5 or rook e1. Bunch of options. I think I'm gonna continue developing as fast as possible. And yeah, hope to use my lead in development before determining on d5 or dc5. So materially speaking, we only have a rook and a pawn against a knight and a bishop, which is a small material disadvantage. And the question will be if my initiative, making stuff happen on these open files, shall compensate for that, or more than compensate for that, or not quite compensate for that. I believe these are the likely outcomes. If he goes bishop e6, I was going to go d5. I was going to say he goes bishop d7, which is probably wiser. Now it feels like I should take on c5, try to open the position a bit further. d5 was still interesting. I'm not sure dc5 ruins my pawn structure, but I had the impression that I should, you know, open some more files. Not sure though, because now, yeah, this bishop on e6 is going to be very hard to get rid of. Trying to figure out what I want to do after bishop e6. Haven't really managed yet. Probably just rook d2, intending rook to e2. King g8 is sort of asking me to put a rook in the danger zone, but mainly his danger zone on e7. Now, here's the other rook here. Still not sure. Not so sure about rook d1. Maybe I missed some good move here, like queen e5, rook d6 also look quite good. Yeah, I think I made a mistake there. Which is, of course, a great pity, should that be the case. Yeah, now he's sort of mobilized, which I should have prevented. And this becomes much more of a bar fight. Yeah, I've messed up. Pity. Okay. Sometimes you gotta admit that you messed up. Take a step back, or 4 steps back to d6, and hope for the best. So what's going on here? Oof. Not a lot of time left for me to calculate this mess. Not sure I want to play. Nice active move like queen h2. Ugh, no, I'm playing terribly. What to do? Hang in there. Sharp position. If knight f4, it looks like I might still be able to defend with rook back to e3. Ugh, I missed queen c5. It's actually quite painful. Yep, this did not go the way I would have wanted it to go. Have to defend the rook and game a pawn down. That's too bad. Now it's a queen ending the pawn down. Should be fairly drawn. And it looks like he's happy. Repeating moves. And yeah, this is not a position where I can flag with a clear conscience. So, good job, Formless. Bad job, Jan. Welcome back to the action. I don't know where I let this one slip. I like my position all the way till here. Yeah, this rook d1, I started drifting here. I must have something better. Maybe queen e5 indeed. Queen g3 immediately. Queen g3 also looks good. Yeah, here I started making some bad moves. This looks nice though, just centralizing and then bring the rook to d6. Then there will be themes like rook g7, g4, g5. Looked like a good position. But yeah, shout out to Formless. And lucky me that I got away. With half a point there. You know what? Let's continue playing strong players. Silvo, 2828. Ugh. C4, E5. I always thought E5 was the most principled way. To me it's C4, not from a theoretical standpoint, but just, how to say, aesthetically speaking. Why go C4? Doesn't control the E5 square. Put a pawn there. It's very logical to me. And all this fear-mongering, oh, but you'll be playing a Sicilian, a tempo down. Chess doesn't really work that way. Like, play is normally quite different from a sharp Sicilian, a tempo down after C4, E5, at least in my experience. D6 strikes me as a little odd, maybe. Knight D5 now. I think you're more flexible starting with castles, at least. I'm not sure if it's a big deal, but it feels slightly wrong. I want to exploit it. I want to go b4. Can I do that? b4, bishop takes. Nah, it doesn't seem to do all that much. Okay, I'm going to castle. I have a feeling this is still theory. Castles, castles, and then d3 or e3 or something. We will find out, or not. Takes immediately. Even this vaguely rings a bell. Now knight to d4. Knight e7 is legal, but I can grab some space in the center instantly by playing d4. So this looks like a decent position for me. My guess is he's going to want to play knight to f5. Can I stop that? I'm a little better if I just play b3, where knight f5, bishop b2. I'm contemplating if I should play e4 here to stop any knight f5 action. Nah. Thing is, even after mass exchanges after, let's say, knight f5. Oh, I missed queen f6. Okay, now I'm going to have to think of it. I missed knight f5, bishop b2, queen f6, which looks like an odd move, but he's pinning my knight on d4 in a way. So I might have to reconsider. Because, yeah, after queen f6, if I have to play some clumsy move like e3, I won't be too happy. Even though, even that position is not bad. Let me think this through. Nah, it's also not better. That's a pity. Knight c2, another slightly odd move, if I'm being completely honest. What I want to do is go e4 and then bishop b2, but he can try to make me work for it by playing queen f6, turning e4, knight to d4. When bishop b2 might or might not win material. Probably wins material. Bishop d7 is a more natural move now. Events proceed. as expected. e4, I'll put my bishop here. He's probably going to play c6. And we'll see what shall happen. Yeah. Not quite sure what goes where here. I'm feeling the knight belongs back to d4, but then cd, ed. dc6, is that a move? Feels slightly off, but maybe it is a move. Because now at least I don't have to worry about the knight coming back to f5, and my pieces sort of make sense. I'm also not sure about queen h5. It feels like a nice little square for the queen. Just standing there, looking vaguely threatening. Which I guess is the job of a bodyguard or a security guard as well, right? Shall we think of queens as the king's bodyguard? Probably not, because they normally are out doing the king's bidding far away from him instead of protecting him. So it's probably a bit of an inaccurate comparison. Zilvo from Finland is weighing his options here. He decides that self-pinning is the key. But is it really? I guess he wants some bishop g4 business. But that don't concern me all that much. And pinning this bishop is very nice. So after queen somewhere, that somewhere has to be determined still. He has to go knight c6 to avoid losing material, but at least I'll win a pawn, I would guess. Which is better than nothing. Or this, it's only. Delays the problem. What am I thinking? Why did I think this move was not legal? Yeah. Brain not fully functioning yet. Yeah, that was strange. Anyway, I'm still slightly better. It's a little worrying that I did not consider queen to d7 as a legal move. But it's a hard knock life. Okay, time to speed up a bit too. Ugh, now I'm drifting rook a2. All kinds of trouble. I'm focused now. See, I'm anticipating his moves. Problem with being focused is it often does not go hand in hand with talking nonsense. It really is the fundamental problem of Banter Blitz. You want to talk as much nonsense as you can, but you also want to win games and look like a big champion of chess. And sometimes it's hard to combine the two. Starting some wild attacks to compensate for the fact that things have gone a little wrong. But since this bishop is mainly a spectator, these attacks should not really work. I have a plan. I hope he lets me do it. I have a feeling he won't, and I'll be very sad about it. But it's still a plan. Please, sir, let me play my idea. My idea was queen h7. If the rook stays on f8, that would have been checkmate. Now, as usual, we have to do things the boring way. But it's not always a choice. Sorry, Zilvo. Yeah, it was. Where was it? This position. The problem is most moves parry it, but if you find one that doesn't, like queen b2, let's say, then I could have done this, and I would have been very happy. But it was not meant to be. Thanks for the game. Let's play. I killed 007. Is that true? Like, did you kill James Bond? Or did you kill an actor impersonating him? Like, did you kill Daniel Craig? Or Roger Moore? Timothy Dalton? Sean Connery? Who of those gentlemen is dead? Roger Moore is dead? I hope that's not the case. And you are being deceitful in your username, because I don't know much, but I do know that 007 hardly ever dies in his movies. So I strongly doubt your claim that you really killed him. And it looks like he's trying to go for the hippopotamus, which includes g6, d6, a6, knight d7, and then nothing really. So it's not a very scary setup. But people like doing it because they don't have to think for the first, 5-6 moves. Maybe I'll try to stop him from doing that. And I was wrong. He wants to go d5. Maybe that was a plan all along, which of course makes my h4 look slightly silly. But it's so hard to read people's minds. I killed 007 as banging out all these moves as if none of what I'm doing is news to him. He's experienced this situation many a time, just as he said. No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die. It's all an old hat for him. And he's not afraid of giving his queen for the bishop either. I would have preferred knight f5. It's not pretty, but at least you can fight for Her Majesty's life. Isn't there... The thing is, I watched most of the Bond movies when I was a younger man. I watched them dubbed into German. So I'm very short on Bond quotes and on Bond titles. But isn't there a Bond... Yeah, that's what I was looking for. In Her Majesty's Secret Service. Is it on her? Yeah, on Her Majesty's Secret Service. And if you ask me, you've let Your Majesty down, and not very secretly, by giving her up against this bishop, a mere bishop in the grand scheme of things. This was no... I'm blanking on Bond supervillain names. Blofeld. Blofeld is the most famous one, right? Or is it my move? Did I pre-move? Can I do that? I can pre-move castles in this window and then it gets executed in this window? Fascinating. Learned something new. En passant, ladies and gentlemen, if your opponent moves a pawn to the 5th rank and you have an adjacent pawn on the 5th rank, if the pawn came from the 7th rank, you can take your pawn as the opponent's pawn as if it had gone to the 6th rank. But you can only do that for one move. After that, you forfeit the right to take that dude. I hope I explained that correctly. It's never been my strength to explain the en passant rules. Actually, I should try not to get checkmated here while I'm celebrating my extra queen. It should be doable. But should be doable are words that have led many of us astray in the past, and I'm sure will continue doing so in the future. So what are we talking about in the chat? Old Shaky is saying he washed the mug. The mugs are waterproof. We put ours in the dishwasher every day. Something must have gone wrong, or maybe it wasn't microwaved. Don't we have the secret technology to put them in the microwave before we send them on? I don't know, but I'm sorry to hear about your misfortune. All the mugs I'm using are like dishwashed every day. Look, it's still signed by, I don't know who signed this. Wasn't me. Even got me on camera. Wasn't me. I do think that Mr. Bond will live to fight another day. And I killed 007. Waves the white flag. What else is the discussion? Gold rating discussions. Yeah, ratings are a bit inflated on chess24.com. So yeah, don't read too much into it. My real life retired rating is still 2640. I might be a little... Nah, I don't think I'm that overrated. I've been winning rating the last year. But I might be a little overrated because of my inactivity. But the ratings on chess24 really don't matter. And most self-respecting grandmasters would have something south of 3,000, I would guess. I really don't know. Let's play another game. I haven't gone to the movies, or I'm not up to date on any cinema stuff or TV show stuff and so on. I've been doing these unplugged holidays without TV, without wireless LAN. You know, things, I don't know. Eating fresh fish and interacting with real people, lying on beaches, reading books. It was terrible. Glad it's over. No, I'm joking. It's actually... I'm fighting very hard, but I'm not very good at disconnecting from our lovely technology. Which, yeah... It's weird times we live in where I normally sit in front of the TV, but I'm bored at what I'm looking at, so I'm using my smaller screen to distract myself from the bigger screen. And it's wrong. Having said that, thank you for watching Banter Blitz with Jan Gustafsson episode, I don't know, 106. We try to keep it fresh by, I don't know, not getting a haircut, so my hair is sometimes longer. And by playing new people, like Mr. Dicres. I have a strong feeling, and I have zero proof for this, but I have a feeling that Dicres' first name is Dennis. And his last name is Kress. He goes for this line with 2g6, which I've played on occasion, and has a couple drawbacks. First of all, white can play c3, then d4. Secondly, he can play after d4 if you take queen takes d4. And after bishop g7, white can grab more space by playing d5. I've done different things in this position. dc5 is a move, c3 is a move, c4 is a move, and so on and so forth. But d5 looks logical to me. Because space matters in chess. Space advantage is nice. Let's push further. Is this? Feels like one should push the h-pawn. Go! Go ninja, go ninja, go! What are we talking about? You should go to Azor? Where's Azor? I guess I know where it is, but I'm sometimes slow on... By the way, it looks like I'm checkmating Dicres. I'm sometimes slow on... English names. All right, now let us figure out how to checkmate Mr. Dicres. Queen h5, knight f6 is not checkmate yet, even though it looks pretty good. Queen d5 check is obviously a candidate. I don't like it. I could go knight takes h7, also interesting. King h7, queen h5 should be checkmate. After rook f5 or whatnot, I still don't quite see it. I have a feeling this is the way to Rome. Which is something I was looking for during my unplugged holiday as well. The way to Rome data on my phone. Because I am an addict. Not drugs or alcohol. Certainly not chess, but yeah. The internets I'm very addicted to. This is what I was thinking about the position after bishop f5, bishop d3. And once I spotted that bishop takes d3, I have knight to e6, threatening checkmate on g7 and targeting the queen. I thought I was doing good, but full disclosure, I did not see the move queen to d7. So what do we do about it? Maybe bring the rook. If he takes this rook, then bishop h7 should once again be checkmate. Even though I didn't think it through, but it feels very checkmatey. Well, knight g4. Dicres putting up a fight here. I was so sure I would checkmate him after the first couple moves. But then, you know how it is. You talk a little about... I don't even know what I was talking about. So it wasn't even memorable. And all of a sudden, the position is a mess. And Yuzan tells me it's the islands of Portugal. Yeah, I like Portugal. I've never been before this trip now. So very much looking forward to going back to Portugal, going new place. I've heard a lot of good things also about the cities. About Lisbon and Porto. And yeah, certainly enjoyed it there. I don't really enjoy my position anymore. So yeah, once again, the good old lesson that it ain't over till it is over. And here, yeah, out of the opening, it looked like this position looks like checkmate. There's no defenders around the black king, but I relaxed a little too early. Always dangerous. So now, after queen e5 check, what do I do? King somewhere, I guess. d1, d2, d3, d1 maybe. I should have gone bishop e. And bishop e3 takes on c3. d1 is okay. Rook f3. Little Zwischenschach, I guess. Ooh, this could get interesting. So gf knight f2, I would have to go king c2, then queen e2, bishop d2, and it looks like I'm kind of winning. But just kind of. Thing is, the queen from h7 covers d3, which is good news for me. Instead, He goes king e8, which is fair. I guess I should continue to develop a bit. Try to bring the rook. Here comes the rook again. I thought he might have missed that. I can take on d3, so by pre-moving it, I was trying to make it scarier. Not sure how scared Dicres did get. What's going on now? He has a bunch of pawns, right? Not that many. Probably I should try avoid losing on time, even though it's always tempting to lose on time. Because the position, sometimes it's so interesting. You just want to study it. Nah, I've never had these urges to study positions. Dicres continues to put up a fight. Enough fighting. You've proven that you're a good chess player. Can you please lay down your arms, sir? This is getting a little out of hand. I missed knight f3. Uh-oh. Am I in trouble now? That'd be too bad. Knight f8 check. King e8. Rook e7. Doesn't look great. No, it's not great. That's a bit of a pity. Okay, I shouldn't lose on time. So, do something. This doesn't look like a tough decision if you ask me. The king takes f8. Of course, I could be wrong. I'm lost after rook takes f5. I've spotted that much, but I have a feeling that plan B will get the job done. Another tough decision, rook f6. Knight d4 check less good than the previous play, if I'm allowed to say so. But quicker. Rook b6. It's called the Vancouver position. Is it? I don't know if it is. Anyway, confusing game. Good job. I don't know. Confusing game against Dicres. Not that confusing. Let us play another one. Who's new here? Y'all noobs to me. Let's play this dude. King Murderer. Is that a Smurf? Guess it's not a Smurf. Are there red-headed Smurfs? My hunch is no. He goes d4, c5. d5 is by far the main move and the best move, but for the purposes of this game, let's take the pawn, see what King Murderer is up his sleeve here. Looks like he's not surprised by my very creative opening DC, followed by knight e4. It's nothing special. I believe the best move here is probably d5. Knight c5, queen a5 check. After bishop e7, I can give a little check. And, you know, I have the two bishops. Not a winning advantage, but something to work with nonetheless. And Chess Hire Cat, who I still believe is a chess cat for hire and not a reference to... I don't know the English terms for all this stuff. Like, I'm not that educated on all your little references. What do we call it in German? Grinsekatze? The Alice in Wonderland weirdo cat? It's Grinsekatze, right? Anyway, he says he would like to learn more about Smurfs. And I feel like I might have to let you down. I'm not that educated on Smurfs. I know, once again, it's my upbringing is in German, so all this kids stuff I don't feel very qualified to talk about in English. So let's still figure it out. There's Papa Smurf, who's probably called Papa Smurf in English. There is the bad guy. Is he called Azrael or is his cat called Azrael? No, the bad guy is Gargamel, right? Is that the same in English? We call him Gargamel. And his cat is called Azrael. Then there's the hot Smurf girl. We call her Schlumpfine. So you'll know, like German, you learn German Smurf terms as well, which I feel is an important topic. Schlumpfine, there's Schlaubi Schlumpf, he's the smart Smurf. That's pretty much all my Smurf knowledge. I've been slumping a bit on my Smurf research recently, and I'm not proud of it. But you know how it is. There's so many topics to study up on that sometimes you gotta prioritize. It's like being in university. Do I learn for that exam or that exam? And I've made a conscious decision that I will let my Smurf research rest and focus on other topics like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You know, stuff that you can actually use in your later career, not this useless, empty knowledge. So I will stop apologizing for my lack of Smurfication now and focus on the game. King Murderer is worse because I have this bishop all up in his grill on d6. He's gonna go some clumsy move like knight c8, but he won't be happy about it. No, he doesn't. He wants to live with the bishop in his face. It's a tough bishop to live with, though. He's probably going to go long castles, turning knight to e8. Nothing fun, though. And this is... I can't guess a single move of Mr. King Murderer. But I did anticipate rook c6, and I thought if I defend this bishop ahead of time, then I can ask him, politely of course, this is a polite program, to go back after rook c6. Time to amp up the pressure. Do you guys also have the feeling my pronunciation is extra German today? Amp up. I have not been practicing the last week. Therefore, my TH might come and go, and I might pronounce the... See, I don't even know the word. The vocals? Extra hard. The vowels? I read that if I was a Smurf, I'd be apathetic Smurf. Not familiar with that gentleman, but it does seem to fit my overall MO, so I can identify with him. Rook h5, where are you going? You want to go e5? Do I care? I care a little. Not that much. No. Maybe I shouldn't have allowed it, you know. Always regrets, except if you're apathetic Smurf. I don't think he cares very much about the h2 pawn. Should have gone e5 first though, because now you did not break the connection. And sometimes retreats can be very surprising. But they are legal with bishops, not with pawns. Thanks for the game, Mr. King Murderer. More games of chess. Alright, I must find somebody I've never played. Where are you people that I never played chess games with or against, depending on your view of the world? Is chess like a collaboration, or is it a confrontation? I am willing to confront old Shaky head on. Played the good old Mora Gambit. We've played a couple Mora Gambits on this program. I still have not studied any theory on it, but one day I will be the greatest self-taught Mora Gambit expert not even in Hamburg, I believe. The guy from Hamburg, Hannes Langrock, he wrote a book about the Mora Gambit, right? So, not in Hamburg, maybe in my neighborhood. Anyway, the Mora Gambit I've never considered to be completely correct, but I think it's slightly less incorrect than I would have thought. We give a pawn for not all that much, like one tempo and kind of speedy development. And yeah, I don't really know the basic plans or ideas. Plants versus zombies. I generally just go queen e2, rook d1, and then I try to sacrifice something on d5. If that works, I'm happy. If it doesn't work, unhappy, very unhappy. Here, for example, after b5, can I go bishop d5? So I get this sacrifice out of my system quickly. Not sure how much sense it makes. But since it's part of my master plan to sacrifice something here, has to be done so that we could have fun. Knight d5, I'm not sure if that helps, because after ed I still get an initiative, but you don't get the bonus of taking something on d5, which is your piece up. Therefore, if you were to take, I still believe you should have taken with the pawn. But probably was best to just ignore the bishop on d5, go, I don't know. Knight g6 or b4, because now the piece balance is shaky for Mr. Old Shaky from Denmark. On a side note, most Scandinavians will disagree with me on this, but I consider Danish a much easier language than Swedish or Norwegian. The thing is, as far as I'm informed, and I'm well informed on this topic, Danish and Norwegian are very similar when it comes to vocabulary, but very different when it comes to pronunciation. While Swedish and Norwegian are very close in pronunciation, but different in vocabulary. I've tried to learn a bit of Norwegian. I'm still fairly terrible. Well, yeah, still fairly non-existent. But whenever I hear Danes speak, it's much easier for me to figure out the words than this Norwegian pronunciation, where it sounds like singing, and every word they go up in the end. So it's very hard if your native tongue is the lovely song that is the German language. Anyway, I'm a piece up against Shaky Boy, and I shall not let that advantage slip. Gimme. So, what did I miss in the wonderful world that is movies and TV? I want to go see the new Blade Runner, which I heard is good. I still haven't seen it. I want to catch up on the horror movies, never do it. But I shall do it. Then That's about it. Anything else I need to see? Any TV shows I need to watch? I'm genuinely asking. I'm not up to date. Because there's so much stuff out there. And let's be honest, nothing really matters, does it? Let's play Tzval. That's what really matters. Crushing Tzvali boy. He goes 1d4. I shall go knight f6. Our boy Pramod NVS is in the chat. He's asking, when is the next commentary stint, Jan? I will be doing. I'm actually excited about this. I'm going to Crete to do commentary on the, what's it called? European Team Championship, which is a great event. First of all, because it's in Crete. It's a nice place. I've been there in the past. Secondly, because you get to meet a lot of old friends. Because, yeah, Team Championship's always a bit of a get-together. And, yeah, thirdly, because I get to go on location and commentate, which I've been doing a lot of stuff from the studio in Hamburg recently. So, to go on a little field trip, I'm very excited about it. Sval is asking my thoughts on Chess 960. I'm not a big Chess 960 fan. First of all, my only strength in chess is playing all these moves I memorized in painstaking morning exercise, trying to memorize chess as far as you can. So Chess 960 takes away all my advantage. And on a slightly more serious note, it's not a natural game. Often the starting positions are so weird that it takes forever to distribute your pieces towards the center. Like, look here. We've played some random opening, but all the pieces are more or less in play, working towards the center, which can be really tough if you have a knight on h1 and a bishop on g1 to get them going. So normally it feels like you end up making 30 moves until you finally can get some position that resembles normal chess, and then you start playing. So it's not for me, and I don't have the feeling we need it. I feel like classical chess is as rich as ever. There's legitimate debates to be had if we want to play more rapid chess, more blitz chess, all that stuff if we need like the long time format. But I'm still very entertained by the good old chess, and it doesn't feel like we've suffered the draw death just yet. So yeah, not big on Chess 960. Pramon MVS is asking, when is the Euro team thing starting? I believe end of this month. I think I'm traveling, don't quote me on it, October 26th maybe. So my guess would be it starts 27th or 28th. You can look it up. European Team Championship will be a great event. Lot of the strongest, at least European players, but in action. Yeah, gonna be fun. Heartsphere is asking, what do you think about the new Matt Damon downsizing? Haven't heard of it. I'm being told that it takes 3 hours. That's too long. Who has 3 hours? But this, I looked up this, what's it called? I keep forgetting. I just said it though. Blade Runner 2049, whatever it's called. It's also almost 3 hours, right? Can't we have movies like good old-fashioned 100 minutes and we're done? All this, I need 3 hours to fulfill my vision as an auteur. Who has the time for a 3-hour movie? It's the time of binge watching. Give me like 40 minutes on something, then let me decide if I want to continue watching. Which I understand is tricky in the cinema. I have a good position here because he's maneuvered slightly clumsily. No offense. This knight d1, I'm not sure where the knight is going from d1 and bishop c2. Did not really seem to help his case or cause all that much. So I will free the way for Henry the h-pawn. He found a way. Life finds a way. b3, knight b2, knight d3, or knight c4. Fair enough. Can I do something productive in the meantime? Maybe I should bring this horsey boy. Knight d3. Always tempting to sacrifice on e3 in situations like this, but it doesn't feel very hard-hitting just yet. Even though not quite sure how to make progress, to be honest with you. Put the knight on e4. Looks like a slightly better square than d5. But I've also helped him to clean up his mess a little. Because the knight on f4 is better than it was on g3. The knight on d3. Okay, still not a big fan of that maneuver. But certainly better than it was wherever it started its journey. d1. So yeah. I have not really outplayed Svolle the last couple moves. But everybody gets a second chance to say, I'm Swolle. Knight c5. Stop doing aggressive stuff. We're not at that point in our relationship. Swolle. Oh, it's just Swolle, it's not Swolle. Good move, actually. You have to take it. This always confuses me. Like, you have one move that doesn't lose material, DC. Why spend time on it? Just take it and then think. I did not want to lose this bishop. Bishop c8 always looks a little clumsy, but after you've developed your rook to, let's say, e8 in this case, it's actually often a decent spot for Mr. Bishop. Should do something productive one time in this game. But that time has not yet come. So I think we can already establish that the holiday has not renewed my appetite for chess in any way, shape or form. I'm still very indifferent and I'm just trying to make moves that don't blunder pieces and win on time, which is what makes this program so educational. And on another note, I can say that because I'm criticizing myself. If you say that, very hurtful. If you say, oh, but this guy's only playing on time. It's true. That's still very hurtful. Probably that's because truth hurts. So how do I win? Ah, yeah, we've already established that. Yeah, rook e4. Nah. Maybe I can try to put my queen here. And then here. Oh, I should try not to lose on time as well. Ugh, there's always all these things to balance in chess. Don't blunder all your pieces, don't lose on time. That's what makes it such a challenge to play a good game of chess. Especially if you're like me and you're not the sharpest knife in the drawer. Of course, the sharper your knife is, the more stuff you can do. But in my case, you can see it's very painful to try to make sense and to flag at the same time. Some will say impossible, not gonna be able to do it. Boy, this has been another horrible, horrible job. Ooh. I'm slightly ashamed. Slightly. Because I never get that down on myself for a good flag job. But good game Sval, not good game Jan, I think is a fair assessment. And now I feel the overwhelming need to explain all the subtleties of the lovely game of chess in our next encounter against Sir Edel. That is how I decide to pronounce your name, and I will not be convinced otherwise, sir. So, Sir Edel, your move. Are you with us? If you're not there, sir, I'm happy to flag somebody else. Even though I prefer to flag you, Edel. But we don't have all day. Don't we? Maybe we do have all day. Nah, I'm sure you guys have stuff to do. Let's play Will C.H. Macy. If I clicked on him. Ooh, the board is doing stuff. Here we are. Will C.H. What could Will C.H. stand for? Will Claridge Hansen. I think I would have guessed that with enough tries, but I might not have gotten enough tries. Let's play the London system, just because we can. Bishop f5. I believe the modern way to handle these early bishop f5s is to switch back to sort of normal play by going c4, knight c3, queen b3, and try to use the fact that the bishop is far away from home by, you know, going for some good old-fashioned queenside action. I was briefly wondering about the move order here. If I should start with queen b3 or knight c3. I'm not sure it makes a ginormous difference. But I was wondering nonetheless. Maybe queen b3 first is more precise actually. Then queen b6, c5, without including whatever we just included. He goes queen c8, which is of course legal. But, you know, the queen on c8 will never be fully at ease with a rook on c1. Or at least I would hope so. Because rooks are the natural antagonists to queens on open files. Is that true? Sounds logical. Generally, you don't want... I was gonna say something witty, but then I forgot. Is this a good move? Not sure. Not sure at all. But I like bishops. I like me bishops. a6. Do they want to take and go b5? And do I want to stop that or encourage it? That is often a tough decision to make. Could go a4 or a3 or all kinds of moves. a3 is the worst of both worlds. Like, not knowing what to do. I don't want to move this bishop yet because I have a feeling it's going to take very soon. Then it's... Even if it doesn't help all that much, it's just so aesthetically pleasing if you can take from f1 instead of from e2. So now that we've gotten here, e2 and f3 feels like the right direction. Because on d3, wouldn't have that much to do. So I'm expecting c5. And then I was gonna play bishop f3. Queen b7, I'll certainly play bishop f3. What we've got here is failure to communicate. Some man you just can't reach. Alright, I should be better now because he did not manage to get in c5. maybe this is a good time to go e4. c5 doesn't work because of e5. e5 doesn't work. And rule of thumb I just made up, if you can establish the structure and black can't go c5 or e5, you should be slightly better. Still not sure about e4. It was also very possible to do nothing. Rook d1, rook c2. I don't know. c5, e5 still looks pleasant for me. At least I like to think so. Knight h5 I could take and then go d5, which looks good. Or I could just go bishop to e3 and claim the knight is misplaced on h5, which is more double-edged, but it's what I did anyway, because I changed my mind too late. After I spotted cd, bishop d4, bishop c5, I started having second thoughts about this bishop e3 move. But I had already dropped it on e3. In that very moment, my dear boy. Yeah. Can I go rook d4? Not really. I know. This did not go according to plan, but life is what happens while we're busy making other plans. This is like a saying that old people have on their fridge, right? Sounds wise. Or at least it's an excuse not to plan anything. Yeah, just wing it. Who knows what's gonna happen anyway. I'm planning to get a haircut. Haircut. Rook fd8. Can I finally grab that knight? I kind of want it. Could still go a5. It's just a horse and its will to survive. Yeah, maybe. Not yet. The time has not yet come. 92 is a weird move too, though. Ugh, so hard to decide on anything. Never been afraid to say what's on my mind at any given time of day. But I find it very hard to decide on anything. Queen h4 allows knight d3. Yeah, I've been messing around a bit too much, maybe. Is it time to stop messing around? Is it that time of day? See? See how focused I was getting? I'm very focused, in case you haven't figured by reading my very focused body language. The problem is I'm not better at all, but I'm going to compensate with my intense focus. I feel my focus is slowly disappearing too. Queen d4, ugh. All the focus in the world might not win the day for me. Because will ch also seems very focused to me. And if he's focused too, then this focus edge that I thought I was having might disappear. And if I use a lot of time to talk nonsense as well, then the time edge I'm having might also disappear. Therefore, no focus edge, no time edge. What edges do I have left? At the risk of sounding edgy, I feel like they're all gone. Okay, but I'm back to focused. Bad move, but I made it in a very focused state of mind. Sometimes my own incompetence makes me laugh. And then I get very sad again. He wants to exchange these pawns, which of course I can't let happen, because then my only excuse for flagging would disappear. And we need excuses to flag our opponents. I did not count this race. I was just hoping I'd somehow win it. It looks like it's sort of equal. And you know what? Big sportsman that I am, I'm going to offer a draw. Good game. Will CH. Couldn't I win this somehow? Maybe not. Sometimes you have these study likes approaching with the king thing. But nah, it's just an equal race. Maybe g4. Ugh, I would have to think about this. Nah, but g4 feels wrong. King f4, king c4, king g3, takes. Yeah, not winning enough time to win the game. No. Well-deserved draw. Yeah, I was never better, really. Maybe early on. Early on I was better, but then, before I entered my intense focus time, I feel like that edge slipped. Anyway, good game. Let's play another bad game against Chandu 2011. Plays 2g3. In my video series, I believe, maybe I gave c5, I'm not sure. Maybe I gave d5. Probably I gave d5, because I wouldn't want to allow white to go d5. Yeah, that doesn't sound like me. Anyway, we have a fresh position. After 3 moves already. c4 actually is a good move. Makes me worry a little bit that Chandu might be even stronger than his rating. Who knows though? d6 looks tempting, but currently bishop takes g2. Still pretty strong. Bishop f6? Don't do that. Don't give up your bishops for free. It's not a good idea typically. Because look at this beautiful bishop. Now he does not have an antagonist. I really struggle with all these words today. Like antagonist, rival, Angstgegner. Angstgegner I don't struggle with. But it's not really an English word, is it? Knight d6, am I in trouble? Breathe in, breathe out. Sort of slept on knight d6 there. Alright, might as well make it murky. Because, in my experience, what doesn't kill us only makes us stranger. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with the Joker today. I haven't rewatched any Batman movies. Knight c5 looks wrong. I have a feeling you should go d6. Then I thought I was doing fine after either bishop a1 or probably bishop c3 check first. Then maybe just d6. But it's still, this knight would be an extra piece, at least for the time being. Well, now I can take it. And what do I do next? Queen c4, de6, knight c6, ed. Too complicated. Maybe just close this business. Why not? Hashtag why not? Go away. Go back to G2. I don't think you have a choice, sir. Because bishop f3, e4, I win material. h5 looks tempting, I understand, but you're in for a rude awakening. And since I do have a bit of a passion for the good old slow roll, I can't do it. I can't keep talking when I know that queen f2 is checkmate in one. It would just be rude and would be hurtful to Chandu's feelings. And he does the only correct thing, which is stopping my slow roll, which is a bit unsportsmanlike, but I felt after giving a draw in the last game, I had to re-establish my reputation as an unfair player, therefore I couldn't go for it immediately. But Chandu realized it himself and resigned because queen f2 is checkmate. Or rook f2 is also checkmate. I've seen this because I was thinking after h5, fe, queen e4, this could actually be an interesting piece sacrifice if it wasn't checkmate, because my king looks a little alone. And after knight f3, who knows? Could make something happen, but queen f2 was there, so sorry Chandu for that abrupt ending. And good job ruling by a slow roll. That's actually what one should do if your opponent is being a bit of a dick by waiting until executing checkmate. Just resign and you will spoil his fun. Alright, what time is it? Oh, we can play like 2 more maybe. Alright, 1 noob, 1 strong player. Is that a fair constellation? Let's see if I can find some noob that I've never played before. Not really noob, but if we take noob as somebody I've never played before, then we can count Andreas Heienberger from Austria. Often confused with Australia, but not in this program. I've played the London already. Time for the Trumpovsky. After c5, 2 main moves are bishop f6 and d5. Sideline is this move, which I don't really consider to be good, but it's a funny little move to make. The idea, if we can call it an idea, is after c d4, queen d4, knight c6, which is fairly logical, to put the queen here, and then go for long castles, e4, f4, ASAP, and pretend that it's an interesting version of the Sicilian. I have some experience from the black side in this position. I used to play this line with black. I didn't think it was dangerous for black, but you sort of had to know what you're doing. But of course, if you don't want to enter any of this, you can just play d5 here and transpose to another very playable line. Queen b6 looked logical, targeting b2, but long castle is part of the agenda anyway. Now I could think about some bishop f6, knight d5 business at the right moment. Goes h6, which actually does give me a choice, because hg is probably not much of a threat yet, but with such a polite invitation to jump here, I'm not going to be able to help myself, even though I'm no longer sure this was the correct decision. Then again, whatever I do, I'll doubt it that very second, unless it's mate in 1, and if it's mate in 1, I will probably slow roll and then doubt if that was the right thing to do. So it's very hard, once you're living in my head, to not doubt every single thing you do, which is not the best way to live your life. The commutator is saying, you're from Austria. Well, good day, mate. I like the Australian accent, but still thought that was funny. d6. And the commutator confuses masochism with sadism. But haven't we all done that? Like thought, Let's be a masochist today and torture some people. Maybe we haven't all done that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where to put my pieces. I'll go for artificial development by going knight e2, intending to put the guy here. Might be useful, might not be. Who knows? Can also put it here. Oh, castle queenside. Okay, I'll go here. King b8, weird position. I'm still not sure where I should strike. Maybe bring this dude over here. I don't know. What are we talking about? Joke stolen from Dumb and Dumber? Which one? The toilet bit? I did not enjoy Dumb and Dumber as much as I thought I'd enjoy it. I've watched it probably more often. Nah, I haven't seen it that often, but let's say twice. The only bit that stuck is the one where she tells him the chances that I'd date a guy like you would be like 1 in a million, something like that. And he says, so you're telling me there's a chance. But other than that, not a big Dumb and Dumber guy. Surprisingly, because I thought I'd be a big Dumb and Dumber guy. But nah. F5 weird move. But who cares? Good thing is all these knight b2 or knight a3s don't work because my horses aren't defending each other. At least I hope so. Ah, the commutator says the g'day mate joke. Ah, okay. See, that one didn't stick from Dumb and Dumber. Did make me laugh this time. Andreas Heinberger hanging around. Still don't know what to do. I feel my position is quite good, but I really lack a sense of purpose. That was more of a personal problem, nothing to do with the position. When you're sitting here playing Banter Blitz, like, what are you really doing with your life? But apart from that, I'm not quite sure what the plan is, so I'll somehow win on time or whatever. Thing is, I always talk down on my ability to win on time, but you have to have the ability to make moves quicker than your opponent. No one's forced to lose on time. Therefore, I do consider it a legit skill. That's what I have to tell myself. So I can sleep at night. Bishop b5. He wants to take on c3, I guess. Nah. Give me that instead. He's going to go knight a4 to threaten checkmate, because it's exciting to threaten checkmate. Haven't we all been there, done that? But you should do it more quickly. I keep coming back to that topic. There you go. Commutator. You bringing up more Dumb and Dumber material? That one sounds familiar. I was like, what's the soup du jour? It's the soup of the day. That sounds good. I'll have that. Fair enough. Le plat du jour, s'il vous plaît. Alors, comment ça peut gagner cette position? Je ne sais pas, je ne peux pas parler français, mais Andres Einberger resigned. Thanks for the game, Monsieur Andreas. Alright, last game. I said strong opponent, so let's surf around to the strongest we can find. Who is the biggest possible opponente? Could that be true? Could it really be our boy? Could it be our boy? I believe it's our boy, Mr. Gustaf Chatterjee, number 1. Gustaf, come out and play. Maybe he's not here. Mikhailo Granik did not get the soup joke. If you have to explain a joke normally, it loses a bit. But basically it's that you would think that soup du jour... I can't even explain it, see. The soup of the day, you still don't know exactly what it is, so saying that sounds good, I'll have it. Is an odd answer. See, it's tough to explain jokes. Isn't it tough? It's tough to get excited about the English 4 knights too, but we'll do it anyway. G3, Queen B6, I believe is what you should do. Oh, Gustav, big student of all this business. Me, I forgot most of it, but I do recall that after knight fg4 here, queen a4 is an exciting line. So let's see if Gustav knows the ins and outs of this. Last time I checked, this was some sort of weirdo, bizarro forced draw. Looks like he does know everything about it. That'd be too bad. We'll find out. He goes knight takes e5. I have a feeling this might have been played in this stem game, Aronia and Leko. Queen f2, I believe, is a forced draw or something. Anyway, knight e5, now I'm out of book. So I'll develop a bishop. How bad can that be? A6 does not contain a threat, as far as I can tell. But the threat might be to go rook b8 and thereby threatening something. So, what do I do about that? Maybe castle. Not sure. I'm never sure. Weird position. Very strange position. Probably time for the king to get out the c-file. Get out the way. Get out the way, king. F5. So aggressive. Decent move though, because I don't really want to go to d2. But I don't see a better move, so... What can you do? Knight d3. Big champion of chess. So what is going on here? I don't understand anything about this position. I should probably somehow try to open the king side. How can I do that? G4 maybe? Weird move, G4. Who knows? If I go H4, he goes G4, and I didn't really see how to make progress there. So I thought maybe something like this, just, you know, to put up a bit of a fight for the good old initiative. I want to go F4, and I'm having second thoughts. shouldn't think forever. Let's spice it up further. Spicy. I missed knight d6, which is a little annoying. Well, what to do? Yeah, this is not going well. To be perfectly honest with you. No, I'm just in real big trouble. I would love to go knight h5, but queen takes b4. Sort of ends that party. But I don't know what else I can do. Nah, it's just a bad position. Nope, don't have ideas. Just d5. No. No, just getting crushed. Absolutely no chance in this game. F3 is too sad to even contemplate. But no, it's just a hopeless position. Yeah, that is the end. Good game, Mr. Gustav. No chance at all in this game. Which, yeah, slightly worrying. But what can you do? And that brings us to today's end of the show. Room I moved there in the last game. But yeah, really no chance. Can't be too upset about that. And see you guys in the next show. And enjoy the rest of your day. Until then, I'll probably go try to find a haircut somewhere. Because, ugh. This is getting out of hand, this mug situation. Is it called a mug? What do you call, like, a full head of hair? I don't know. Anyway, see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.